darkest corners of the internet, where even seasoned users fear to tread, whispers of a cursed image known as Smile Dog have persisted for years. It is said that those who gaze upon this sinister picture are forever changed, driven to the brink of madness by the unsettling, malicious grin of a dog unlike any other. Welcome to Nightmare for Giggles to another creepypasta story. Hopefully this story will help you fall asleep. Before you do, don't forget to click the subscribe button. Hit that like and that notification bell so you'll never miss any spooky content. Let us continue, shall we? Our story begins with Daniel, a tech-savvy college student who prided himself on his skepticism. He considered most online horror stories to be mere fabrications, nothing more than the collective imagination of bored individuals seeking thrills. One evening, as he browsed through various forums, he stumbled upon a thread titled, "The Truth Behind Smile Dog, Can You Handle It?" Intrigued by the boldness of the claim, Daniel clicked on the link. The post was filled with warnings and testimonies from those who claimed to have seen the image and suffered its consequences. Some spoke of nightmares, others of hearing incessant whispering, and a few even mentioned losing their grip on reality. The thread concluded with a link to the cursed image, followed by a final warning: "View at your own risk." Daniel scoffed at the melodrama. He believed it was nothing more than a cleverly constructed hoax designed to scare the gullible. With a mixture of curiosity and defiance, he clicked on the link. The image loaded slowly, pixel by pixel. At first glance, it seemed innocent enough, a photograph of a dog. But as more of the image was revealed, Daniel felt a chill creep up his spine. The dog's fur was matted and filthy, its eyes an unnatural shade of yellow that seemed to glow with a malevolent light. But it was the smile that truly unsettled him. The dog's lips were curled back, revealing rows of sharp, menacing teeth. It was a smile that conveyed pure, unadulterated evil. Despite the initial unease, Daniel couldn't look away. The longer he stared, the more he felt an inexplicable sense of dread wash over him. His heart raced, and he could almost hear a faint, eerie whisper in the back of his mind. It was as if the image was alive, reaching out to him, drawing him in. Shaking his head, Daniel closed the browser window. "It's just a picture," he muttered to himself, trying to dispel the growing sense of fear. But as he turned off his computer and prepared for bed, the image of the smiling dog remained etched in his mind. That night, Daniel's dreams were plagued by nightmares. He found himself in a dark, foggy forest, the air thick with an oppressive sense of foreboding. As he wandered through the woods, he could hear the faint sound of barking in the distance. The sound grew louder and more menacing, accompanied by a sinister growl. Suddenly, the dog from the image appeared before him, its yellow eyes glowing with a terrifying intensity. It lunged at him, its jaws snapping shut just inches from his face. Daniel woke up in a cold sweat, his heart pounding in his chest. He glanced around his room, half expecting to see the dog lurking in the shadows. But everything was as it should be. The digital clock on his nightstand displayed 3:33 a.m. He took a deep breath and tried to calm himself, convincing himself that it was just a nightmare. The following day, Daniel couldn't shake the feeling of unease. He felt as though he was being watched, and every shadow seemed to conceal a hidden threat. He decided to confide in his best friend, Mark, who was also a skeptic when it came to paranormal phenomena. "Mark, have you ever heard of Smile Dog?" Daniel asked during their lunch break. Mark raised an eyebrow. "Yeah, I've heard the stories. Why?" "I saw the image last night. It was unsettling, to say the least." Mark laughed. "Man, you're too easily spooked. It's just an image. There's no such thing as a cursed picture." "Maybe," Daniel replied. But he couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to it. As the days passed, Daniel's nightmares grew more vivid and disturbing. He began to hear whispers, even when he was awake. The whispers were unintelligible at first, but soon they began to form coherent words. "Join us," they would say. "Embrace the madness." Daniel's mental state deteriorated rapidly. He became paranoid, convinced that the dog was haunting him. He saw its sinister smile everywhere, in reflections, in shadows, even in the faces of strangers. His grades plummeted, and he withdrew from his social life. isolating himself in his apartment. One evening, as he scoured the internet for answers, he stumbled upon a forum dedicated to Smile Dog. The users discussed their own experiences with the image, and some claimed to have found a way to break the curse. They spoke of a ritual that involved burning a printed copy of the image while reciting an ancient incantation. Desperate for a solution, Daniel decided to give it a try. He printed out the image and gathered the necessary materials for the ritual. As he lit the candle and began to recite the incantation, he felt a sudden, intense coldness envelop the room. The whispers grew louder, almost deafening, as if the very walls were closing in on him. The image of the dog seemed to come to life, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. The smile widened, revealing even more rows of sharp teeth. Daniel's hand shook as he held the picture over the flame, but he forced himself to continue. Just as the image began to burn, the room was filled with a blinding light. The whispers stopped abruptly, replaced by an eerie silence. When the light faded, Daniel found himself alone in his apartment. The burnt remnants of the image scattered around him. For a moment he felt a sense of relief, but as he looked around, he noticed something horrifying. The dog's smile was now etched into the walls, the floors, and the ceiling of his apartment. No matter where he looked, the sinister grin followed him. Driven to the brink of insanity, Daniel realized there was no escaping Smile Dog. The image had become a part of him, haunting him for eternity. His screams echoed through the empty apartment, unheard by anyone. And so, Daniel's story serves as a chilling reminder. Some images are best left unseen. For those who dare to gaze upon Smile Dog, beware. The cursed smile will follow you, driving you to madness until you are nothing more than a shadow of your former self. That is the end of our tale. Hopefully you'll have some sweet, wonderful dreams. Till then, stay tuned for more creepy stories.